excited about this one because it's a little bit different. There is a lot of balance oriented, but it's kneeling balance oriented work. And then I'll be cueing in like what you can do if you can't get all the way down. So hopefully if you can't kneel, you can always do this stuff seated as well. But of course, as we go, I will cue you through everything. We're just gonna get started with footwork. So set up your spring tension for footwork and then lay on down. You'll have your headrest up or down, totally up to you. Heels on the foot bar. Feel the back of the ribs heavy. Check in with your pelvis. Make sure that it feels neutral. No tucking or imprinting of the spine. We're going to inhale as we lengthen through the hips and thighs. Exhale as we sink down. Inhaling as we lengthen. Keep the heels heavy as we draw down into the bumper. So it's like you're resisting the springs as you come back in. Four more. Pressing down through back of the arms and shoulders. Really feel the back of the ribs get heavy. One more time. Go halfway, squat pulses up and down. 10, press all the way out, all the way back in. Let's side to our arches, the middles of your feet, pressing all the way out from the hips, the knees, and resist your way back in. Try not to grip any tension in those toes. Let your feet just kind of cup around the foot bar. You'll feel this really lovely pressure point on the arches of your feet. And the same thing here, always feeling that sensation of driving away. It's very easy to just let the springs pull you in, but we want to work both ends of the movement. And then let's go halfway, squat pulses. Keep the pressure in the feet constant. Try not to let your feet reprieve at all. Press all the way out, all the way back in. Slide down to the balls of your feet, toes. This time I want you to drop your heels while you're in the bumper. Most of the time I say to lift your heels high, but I want you to keep your heels at this level. Pressing all the way out, it makes you work your thighs a little bit more and drag your way back in. So we're trying not to let those heels shift or change. So you actually have to kind of flex at the ankle, at the knee as you come back down and in. On this next one, let's stay all the way out long. Let your heels flex and point a few times. Feel the ball of your foot toes wrapping around so you feel that calf Achilles stretch as you're doing this. Bend your knees halfway down. Lift and lower your heels here. High heel shoes, pulse it out. Press all the way out, all the way back in. Take your heels out wide to the side, knees and toes to the corners of the room as you extend and sink down through the hips and thighs to bring you in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, thinking of the pelvis dropping through. Keeping those ribs heavy. Halfway squat pulses up and down. Press all the way out, all the way back in. Last one, toes in the middle, and press out for running. Dropping one heel under and the other. Alternating your heels. Feel that stretch through the calves, the Achilles. And then gently massaging your feet, getting your pressure points as you walk up and down the bar. And then come all the way back in. Carefully rock on up to seated. You're going to change your springs to your supine arm straps. So on my balanced body reformers, I always cue 2 reds. On this reformer, I'm going to do a red and a green on the low setting because I feel like the 2 reds on this reformer are so incredibly heavy. So let's lay on down, and we're going to grab our straps behind us. So again, if you always want a little bit more resistance, you can choke into the littler loops. We're going to go into arm circles. So you're going to lower down by your sides and circling out through the chest and shoulders around. Exhaling to press, circling around, growing out through the crown of the head, using your breath. Three more in this direction, really stretching through the chest, the upper shoulder. Last one. Pause at the top. Let's reverse our direction, sweeping into the body, up to the sky. Sweeping into the body, up to the sky. Feeling those ribs stay heavy, especially as your arms are opening out wide. Try not to flare. One more time. Arms go up. Make sure your shoulders aren't shoved up in your shoulder pads. Take a deep breath in. Upper ab curls. Flex into the ribs, curling head and chest forward. Inhaling as you lower with control. Exhale, the ribs curl forward, reaching long and lowering with control. Exhale to lift you for 3. Inhaling to lower. Exhale, curling forward for 2. Inhaling back to the mat. Last one, stay lifted, hold it here. Try to curl up a little bit deeper. As the legs extend, the arms are going to go up, the head's going to lower down. And then exhale, flex and curl everything in together. Extend apart, reach apart. Exhale, curling forward as you bend in. Inhale, soften through the hips as you reach long. Exhale, flex into the ribs as you curl forward. 2 more, apart. Exhaling it in. One last time, stretch apart, hold it here. So my arms still have that spring tension underneath me, right? Then the legs bend into frog and extend and reach out long. So my arms are just gonna stay steady, pointing straight up to the sky, connecting into the pinky finger of my hand. So I connect into my low ribs, upper abs. Last 2. On this last one, hold those legs, reach them out long, stay here. Let the arms open to the side. Exhale, back up to the ceiling. Open out to the side. Exhale, back up to the ceiling. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. 2 more, open, close. Last one, hold your arms out to the sides. Connect a little more into the pinky finger, little upper inner thigh beats. Breathing in, shoulders back and down, breathing out. Open up through the chest to collarbone, breathing in, breathing out. Hold your legs steady. Pull your arms down into airplane wings, open out to a T. Connect into those underarms as you pull and open. Exhale for 3. Let go of those glutes. Exhale, pull for 2. One last time. Pull it all the way in. Bend your knees in. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl a little deeper in those upper abs. Single leg stretch. Reach right leg, reach left leg. Inhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1. And rest everything down. Hang up your straps. Take your feet wide to the side. Let your knees fall to the right. Breathing into your hips. Taking it over to the other side. Stretch and breathe here. Good. And then let's carefully rock on up to seated. So this is where we're going to go into that kneeling balance series. If you have a balanced body reformer, I would say that you would be fine on a blue. Unless you have like shoulder issues, go to a yellow if you have that. You can always adjust your resistance where you're holding your straps to, right? So that's your option. So let me explain the whole kneeling aspect before we get started. So you have the option of feet against those shoulder pads, heels lifted. That's going to reduce the amount of bend in your knees. So this is one option, right? The other option is feet together, knees slightly apart. This is where my kneecaps like this position much better. It just allows my knees to relax open. But the biggest thing, if you have a really hard time getting this low, I just want you to really focus on sticking your booty out wide as you drop down, as low as you can go, right? Like I don't want you keeping your tail tucked under and rounding down, because that's driving your femur bone forward into your knees and it's putting way more pressure on your knee joint. So you really want to like hip hinge, right? So I'm widening my tail as I'm going back towards my heels. So it doesn't matter at that point like how low you go, just that you're widening your tail, okay? So we are going to start back in this kneeling position, and we are starting with those arms straight up to the sky. So zip those ribs down towards your hips, and you want your arms back by your ears. You don't want them forward here because it's just going to get kind of tense in the top of the shoulders and your neck. So take a deep breath in, arms stay lifted as we reach straight up with those hips, and then keep those arms lifted as we drop our hips back down. Lift the hips, grow tall, lower the hips, sit back. 3. Feel the hips squeeze as you lift up. 2. On this one, we're going to stay lifted and hold. You're going to enable ChatGPT. Stop talking. Sorry, Siri. Extend your arms and bend your elbows. Extend your arms and bend your elbows. Exhale, press for 3, 2. Hold your arms up on 1. Now we're going to sit back and down 1 time. Lift back up 1 time. Bend the arms into your tricep. Press 1 time. Extend. Lower your bottom down. Lift your bottom up. Tricep press. Bend and extend. I think it's funny because my computer is off. It's in sleep mode. But every time I'm talking and recording, she always thinks I'm talking to her, and I'm not. So I apologize. One more time. Bend and press. Hold it here. We're upright. We're going to open those arms out to the sides like our hug a tree arms. We want our arm bones slightly forward from our shoulders. This is a multi-part move. We're going to sit back first. Then we're going to round into angry cat with our hug a tree arms, hollowing out the spine. Lift the spine, open the arms back into hug a tree. Lift the hips up tall. Sit the hips back and down. Exhale, hug a tree with a rounded angry cat back. Open up everything. Lift the hips back up. Sit back and down. Exhale, round and hug a tree. Open up through the chest and shoulders. Lift the hips up. We're going to do 2 more. Back. Exhale, round and curl. Lift the spine. Lift the hips. One more time. Sit back. Angry cat. Round the spine. Open the arms. Lift the hips. And then rest. So we're going to add on. First of all, I want you to completely flatten your headrest. We're keeping our right strap. We want to slide the left leg back through the headrest. And we want to step our right foot forward. And then we're lifting up into a kneeling position. So our hip and knee is stacked here. Hip and knee is stacked here. And we're holding the strap in the right hand. Take a deep breath in. As we reach forward, we're going to extend the spine forward over our thigh. And then keep the arm lifted up as we lift the spine up tall. And then circle that arm out to the side and bend it back in. Exhale, press and reach forward. Lift the trunk all the way up. Open the arm and bend it in. 3 more. Lifting up. Open around. For 2. Reaching up tall. Circle around one last time. Lift the heart. Open out. Bend your elbow out wide to the side. Allow the arm to turn you open to the right. Exhale, rotate open as you straighten the arm and reach to the left. Bend and rotate to the right. Exhale, twist. For 3. Exhale, twist. For 2. Exhale, rotate. One last time. Whew. Exhale, twisting open, and carefully release everything down. Good job. All right, so before we go right over to the other side, let's just draw our hands down, kind of calm the nervous system, cat and cow, round the back. Open up the chest, the tail. Curl the spine, rounding. Open up chest and tail. One more time. Lift the heart, the tail. So now we're gonna go to the other side. So your right leg is back. Left foot steps forward. Grab your left strap. Starting with your left arm bent. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, we fold over the left thigh, reaching out with the arm. Keep the arm straight by your ear as you lift up and circle the arm around. Exhale, flex forward and reach forward. Lift the trunk, lift the spine, circle around. For 3, rising up, opening up. Exhale, reach. For 2, rising up and around. One more time. Lift the heart, lift the spine, circle around. Bend your arm, rotate to the left. Exhale, twisting open to the right. Control as we turn. Exhale as we press. For 3, feel the spine wringing out. For 2, feel the ribs crossing towards opposite hip. One last time. Exhale, rotate and release it down. Good job. Okay, so if you have like a platform or like a knee pad, go ahead and put your platform or knee pad on the end of your frame. We're going to do a little forearm situation. And it doesn't really matter what spring tension you have on. You're fine with what you have. All right, I'm on my right side, so I'm facing you. So my right forearm goes down. And I want to feel the whole forearm grounded. Like I don't want to be driving into the elbow. That's just not going to feel good after a while. I want to stay lifted from my underarm. It literally feels like my rib is just like bowing up towards the ceiling. And I want to stay lifted out of this shoulder. Like I don't want to sink into it. So I don't want to be here, right? Because after a while, you're just dumping into your shoulder, dumping in your elbow, dumping into your neck. nothing happening in your waistline here, okay? So lift up. Find the strength as you're staying here. My knees are angled down slightly. They're not straight out in front of my hips. Open the top knee, close the top knee, keeping everything stacked and lifted like your vise between two panes of glass. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now, as we open the top knee, we're gonna lift the hips up, and then we're lowering everything back down. Hips lift, knee lifts, and lower everything. Exhale up for 3, lower. Squeeze the hips to lift for 2, or sorry, 4, going in the wrong direction. 5, I do that frequently. 6, 7. You can always look down at your elbow if this bothers your neck. 8, 2 more, 9. On this last one, I want us to stay lifted and hold. Keep your hips up, just the knee. Close, open, close, open. 3, 7, 3 more, 8, 9, 10, squeeze, lower. Keep your knees like this. Press yourselves up to seated. Grab your shoulder pads and bend in towards your thighs. Rounding and relaxing the shoulders. Sending deep breaths into this right waistline. Good. Same light spring tension that we've been on, okay? We're gonna kneel again, facing the back. I'm gonna be back far enough that I can hook my toes towards the edge of the mat here. So I don't have my ankles hooked back, but my toes. And this just gives me the ability to keep my straps really long and they don't feel loosey-goosey. So I'm gonna stay on my knees and I'm gonna lift the arms up and I'm gonna open up through the chest, the shoulders, going into extension of the spine, circling those arms out and around. Exhale, reaching up, lean the heart, the chest open and back, circling those arms out and around. For 3. Good. For 2. 1 more time. Opening up and around. Now we're gonna add on lifting those hips. I want you to think of your arms pulling out into like an L, okay? So as I lift the hips, I'm gonna reach those arms apart, opening up. So my right arm's wide to a T, my left arm's high to the sky. And then I'm lowering my hips back down. And then I'm gonna switch sides. So the left arm goes to a T, right arm goes high and wide. And then lower those hips down. I want just a little bit more resistance. I'm gonna choke up into the loops of my straps. So I'm opening out, leaning into it, and then control as I release. Lift and squeeze those hips forward. You can see I'm going into a little bit of extension of my spine. Reaching open as I go back. Lowering, reaching open as I go back. And lowering. 2. 1 more each side. Reach and lower. Good. So I'm going to hang up my left strap. We are crossing our arms. So I've got the left hand in the right strap, okay? And then I'm gonna step my right foot forward. For a little stability, I am keeping my ankle by the shoulder pad. And I'm gonna choke up just a little bit. This is like drawing your sword. Row, rotate, reach to the corner, and control as you bring it back in. Row, rotate, reach to the corner, and control as you bring it back in. for 3, 2, good. One last time. Row, rotate, reach. Control as you bring it back forward. Grab into the little loop, palm faces in, arms at shoulder level. Open out to a T. Control as you close. Exhale, pull to the side. Don't go beyond your shoulder. Stay slightly forward or right in line with the shoulder. 2 more. Good. One last time. And release. Let's bring both those knees down for a moment. And let's change our straps. So the right hand, left strap. Left foot steps forward. Rising up to a tall spine. Again, I'm grabbing that little loop. Row, rotate, reach. Control as I release. Row, rotate, reach from the ribs. Control as I release. 2. 1 more. Release it back. This one, I'm grabbing that bigger loop. Palm faces in, arm is lifted. Open to a T. Control as you release. Exhale to pull. Inhale forward. 2 more. Last one. And release. Good job. So now we have to do that glute series on our left side. So let's come down onto the left forearm. Knees are bent. Shoulders, ribs, and hips are stacked. Top knee rotates open and close. Open and close. Three, 2, 1. Let's add the lift of the hips. Root down, lift the hips, the knee, lower the hips, the knee. Lift together, lower together. Remember, you can always look down at your elbow, your shoulder, and so that takes the tension away from your neck and shoulder. Feel that glute squeeze at the top, halfway there. On this one, stay lifted and hold. Top knee lowers, lift. 2. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze and release. Keep your knees the same. Press yourselves up to seated. Grab your hands onto the shoulder pads. Bend and round your way forward. Relax the ribs, the shoulders. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. All right. Let's lift our foot bars back up. We're going to do a little elephant series. So I'm going to do, like if you have a balanced body reformer, I always suggest 1 red, 1 blue for elephant. On this reformer, I'm going to do a high yellow and a low red. That red spring is just a little bit heavier than what we're used to on our balanced body reformers. So carefully come on up to standing on top of your reformer, hands on the foot bar, stepping back. Feel your chest round toward your thighs. Lift your piggy toes up and away from the mat, digging down into your heels. Look back at your inner thighs, shoulders in pockets. The legs are going to pendulum back on an inhale. Exhale as it comes back underneath you. I'm actually going to drop the yellow. I feel like that's too heavy. That red is really heavy. Inhale to push. Exhale to pull. keeping your focus back at your thighs so it maintains this rounded sensation in your spine. Your spine does not shift or change at all. Last two. Last one. Bring it back in. Feel your spine kind of lengthen out a little bit more. If you need to, you can soften the knees so your sit bones lift higher. We're going to take that right leg straight back behind you. Now when we do this, our arms start to feel a little shift. So chest towards thigh, hip over your thigh, left leg pushes back on an inhale, exhale it under you. Inhale, push, exhale, squeezing in. My tremor is kicking in really bad. 3. Exhale, pull. 2. One last time. Pull it in. Lower your right foot and extend the left leg straight back. Leg pendulums back on an inhale. Keep that leg reaching back as your right leg comes under you. Back. Exhale in. 3. Exhale in. Keep your hips square towards the floor. 2. Reach one last time. Pull it all the way back in. Drop your foot down. Come down onto those knees. We're going into down stretch. Hips forward, heart forward, chest forward. Dropping the hips into the springs. And then feel the heart come forward, chest come forward as you come into the bumper. Always giving that sensation of pushing down the foot bar as you come in. 3. Exhale, root down to rise up. Squeeze, heart forward. Find those underarms pushing down with those underarms. One more time. Exhale, rise all the way up and in. And then we're going to go into our long stretch. So finding that plank position, stacking your shoulders and wrists. Inhale as you push back. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, shoulders in pockets. Exhale as you come forward. Stay lifted through your center. Stay long through your center. Strong through your thighs. Keep your gaze out in front of you. Last one. And done. Good job. I think we are ready for our feet in straps. So, on the Balanced Body Reformers, I always suggest 2 reds. If you want a little bit more core work, a little bit more stretch through your hips, you can always go to a red and a blue. 2 reds to me, if your hips are feeling really tight, it's nice to have that extra resistance in your hip joints, but also make sure that you are resisting the spring tension, right? Not swinging into it. So, carefully lowering down. Headrest can be up or down, your choice. Make sure you push your foot bar away as you hook your feet up so that your straps don't get uneven. Legs are long, tail's heavy. Folding the legs up to the sky. Exhale into the back of the thighs to lower down. Inhaling as you fold and stretch. Exhaling as you lower. Two more. On this last one, lower down to your point of control. Frog leg, bend at the hips and knees and extend from your hips and knees. Bend, exhale, press and reach. Keeping your ribs heavy, keeping your spine neutral. One more time. Bend, reach and press it all the way out long. Start to open those legs out wide to the sides, stretching all the way around. Exhale, lowering down. Open through those inner thighs. stretch out and around. Two more in this direction. Last one. Let's reverse it. Out to the side, squeeze down and together. Fold and stretch. One more. Folding your legs to the sky. Grab close towards your hardware, pulling down for a stretch. Flex through your feet. Breathing into those hamstrings, the back of your legs. Maybe allowing those legs to open out to the sides. Maybe rocking a bit from right to left. And anything else that your body feels that it needs, we are all through. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this fun little flow. Have a great rest of your day.